Hi folks, this is Mark by Mark A. Foster, Ph.D. again. I am continuing to set up this home studio as best I can. I am still waiting for some equipment to be shipped to me from Amazon. So I apologize for the way this thing looks. Eventually it will gradually get better, hopefully even better than it was when my studio was in Kansas. I managed to get the microphone configured properly, I think, and I'll see after I do this thing. I did test it before I started, but I'll see after I finish doing this thing if the microphone worked okay throughout the entire program, and hopefully it did. In this program, I will be continuing my discussion of Marxism or Maoism, Third Worldism. Again, call it whatever you like, I don't care. Makes no difference to me. But this will be a continuation of the previous two videos, both of which I did yesterday. Yes, I did. I did both of them yesterday. This one I am doing today. So I've had some time to sleep. I'm wide awake. And so let's begin. Here's what I wanted to discuss in this video. It probably won't be as long as the previous two videos, but who knows. My generalized view of what is going to happen to the first world. As I said before yesterday, my own opinion is that after a relatively short time, how short is short, I have no idea. Jesus reportedly said, "I am coming quickly." Well, wasn't quickly. So, yeah, I don't know, you know. I'm not sure what a relatively short time is. But sooner or later, hopefully quickly, the first world, at least in its current form, will end. Now, my own view is that will likely come about through a series of disasters, most likely involving some type of thermonuclear war, possibly involving biological and chemical weapons. The catchy abbreviation for it, not to be confused with the television network, is NBC. Nuclear, biological, chemical. That is my present view. And I think after the first world is way out of the picture, then the third world, which I guess won't be the third world anymore since it'll just be the world, but what is now the third world and what is in the future just the world, will take over, and then will begin the process of revolutionary communism. The process of struggle to bring about a new society, a communist world system, to replace the old, decrepit capitalist world system which we see falling apart now all around us. We just follow the media, we can see it, and there's nothing really that we can do about it, and thank heavens for that. I would not want to change that. Now, could I be wrong? No, I can't be wrong. Of course I could be wrong. I say that I think that there will be no first world after the third world begins building the communist world system. Obviously, I might be wrong. I have a really, really bad track record when it comes to making predictions. I am probably one of the worst prognosticators, prophets, in the world, and I'm proud of it, because who would want to be in the position, I should say, of being a prognosticator in today's world where everything is in such disarray? Not me. But still, I do believe that the first world will be gone, and that the third world will replace the first world, and that is where communism will develop. Not that the third world will start the revolutionary process, and that the First World will then join in, but that there will simply be no more First World. However, again, maybe that's not right. Maybe there will be a remnant of some sort of the First World, and maybe it will, in some way, participate in the process of building the communist world system. So I thought it was important for me to clarify that, because I don't want to give the impression that I feel like I have some secret pathway to knowing the future. Obviously I don't. Anybody who says that they do, who tries to make predictions of what socialism or communism will look like, is simply blowing through the wrong ends of their bodies. And there's no way anybody could possibly know that. They are simply farting into the air, and their farting should be ignored. Flatulence does not smell good. Take my word for it. If you've never smelled it, it actually smells pretty close to a skunk. I smell both. They're very similar. A fart and a skunk are similar. Why? I have no idea. They just are similar. But why? I don't know. So it's possible, I think, that the First World might continue in some form, and that we might end up with a continuance of the First World and the Third World. But it seems a bit, I don't know, incongruous. Where is the Second World? Well, the Second World went away a while ago. So most likely the terms First World and Third World, I would suspect, won't be used. We use the word Third World for its historical and political purposes. Same thing with the First World. But they are somewhat inaccurate and somewhat confusing, considering that there is no more Second World per se. So that is what I think will happen. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong about both things. Maybe there won't be any First World or Third World. Well, nah, I doubt that'll happen. I think there will be a Third World but no First World, but there might be both in some form. In which case, I guess that means I may still be alive. Oh no! No, I don't want to still be alive. I really don't. Living is nice, but living is also not so nice. You know, I was almost hit yesterday by two cars. Here in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, they are in the process of building this new interstate system. This area, for a long time, was cut off from the rest of the country. And it developed its own unique culture. So this is kind of like a non-Texan part of Texas. So now they're finally beginning the process of connecting this part of Texas to the rest of Texas, and thus to the rest of the United States. In the past, this area was effectively a suburb of Mexico. People went to Mexico and did their shopping. There was hardly any business in this area. Well, that's changing, partially because of the cartels. People don't want to go down there. People don't want to risk their lives. I do. I want to risk my life. Well, not really, but I do. I am willing to go down there as long as I make proper preparations and take proper precautions. I'm willing to go down to Mexico, possibly to my death. I doubt it, but you never know. And maybe that would be good. Maybe one less me is good in this world. In any event, what happened is that because of the fact that this area was cut off for so long, it did develop its own unique culture. There are some really weird sayings, like, for example, I've never been in a place where when people want to say, are you happy? Do you like it? They'll go like this. Literally. if you don't believe me, come down here. Go into a restaurant, and when they want to ask you, do you like the food, they'll go. Now I don't go back and return them with a. I don't. I refuse. I will not participate in their comedy. I will only do my own comedy, or attempted comedy. But that is literally what people do. They also have weird names to call people. I don't even remember what half of them are. At first I thought the guy was insulting me when I first came down here. Then I realized that's just the way everyone addresses each other in this part of the country. And it is an unusual place to live, but it has its own character. And it certainly is filled with a lot of characters. So it's corrupt, and that corruption, where does it come from? It comes from the fact that this area was for so long basically a suburb of Mexico. So it acquired a lot of that corruption from Mexico. Hopefully, as time goes on, that corruption will diminish, and hopefully the corruption in Mexico will diminish. I don't want to see those wonderful souls living 3 miles to the south of me have to be worried about the cartels, where the police and the military are both bought off by the cartels, and they work for the cartels. They may get paid by the government, but they also get paid by the cartels. So if you want to become rich in Mexico on the border, join the police. Well, I'm not sure if that's right or not. I just made that up, but that is a sad problem in that part of the world. So in any event, I think that's all I'll say in this one. I'm getting more relaxed, maybe too relaxed. Maybe I'll need to find some kind of a balance between my natural hysterical personality and a more normal personality. But for the time being, this is Mark A. Foster signing off. Have a really good day or night, wherever you might happen to be.